All right, guys, here we go. It seems like the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip between Israel and Hamas, it's over. It seems as though, according to numerous sources, the ceasefire has expired, and there was a number of reports that, we could have a potential prolonging of the ceasefire, but it seems as though that will not occur. And this comes at a time where we're seeing major ramp up in escalation from the Israelis here. A pretty shocking decision. I mean, of course, we've been talking for a while about the allotment of humanitarian aid being allowed into the Gaza Strip. Well, guess what? The Israelis have decided to halt all aid into the Gaza Strip, and get this is coordinated with the Trump administration. So this is a shocking development in the Gaza Strip. So this is a major news. Obviously, they're repping and prepping up for more war inside the Middle East here. And again, just to confirm what I'm talking about, where the ceasefire could be over imminently, and we've already seen artillery fire. We've gotten reports of artillery fire inside the Gaza Strip, and it seems as though we are on the verge of all-out war erupting once again. This is the spokesperson from the White House National Security Council says that according to sources, Hamas is no longer interested in a negotiated ceasefire. And again, take into account this is the Israeli and the American perspective here. This is a full statement. Israel has negotiated in good faith since the beginning of this administration to ensure the release of the hostages. We will support their decision on the next steps, given Hamas has indicated it does not want a ceasefire. Now, again, according to not even according to, Trump himself has said he's been urging Israel to go back into the Gaza Strip and do what is necessary, or in his words, do what is necessary inside of the Gaza Strip. So what comes next is anyone's guess, but it seems as though war is about to erupt again in the Trump administration. So, and the idea that he's anti-war, it's really not being held up with any sort of facts. I mean, the war in Ukraine rages on. The war in the Middle East is about to erupt and resume once again. And this comes at a time where we're actually, and we talked about this, where there's being planned strikes inside of Iran right now. So again, it's a very dangerous time. And why hasn't Israel gone in? Because again, Trump for weeks has been saying Israel has to go in. Well, you know what? They might not have been able to go in and actually defeat Hamas. Again, the beginning of this war, the objective was go in and defeat Hamas. Well, according to all indications, there is more Hamas now than there was in the beginning of the war. So they're obviously their objectives are not being successful. So they've absolutely failed in their original objective to destroy Hamas. So if they're going to go back in, you have to think that they're going to level the place, and as if it hasn't been leveled already. I mean, this is truly a devastating development. Incoming IDF chief arrived at the Southern Command to review offensive plans if Israel is required to resume fighting. And listen to this guy. This is just wild. During the review, he criticized the details, saying it was not offensive enough and instructed that a new one be prepared in which significant values such as victory and the destruction of the enemy would be expressed. I mean, the entire place is leveled already. I mean, the destruction of the enemy. So what does that mean? I mean, it is absolutely wild what we're seeing here. Um, and again, this is also coming. This is super important, guys, that there is far more to this than just a resumption in the Gaza Strip. You could see potential offensive actions by Hezbollah resuming, and more importantly, possibly the Houthis. This is from senior Houthi official threatening to launch a war that will also target U.S. interests in the region if the war in Gaza resumes, warning the U.S. that supporting Israel will result in Houthi targets, or in Houthi attacks on U.S. based forces in the region. So again, a very, very scary development that is resulting from this. And hey, this is also coming at a time where, guys, the president is basically under fire in many different areas in the world with Ukraine. Again, they are meeting inside of Europe right now, major European summit where the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced he is willing to put boots on the ground in Ukraine to enforce a peace deal. And frankly, the allies of the United States, they're falling like flies, guys. They are viewing the United States as kind of an adversary at this point. I mean, they're clearly not one to be trusted, it seems. And frankly, you have the president of the United States, Elon Musk, saying that, you know what, we should withdraw from NATO. And any indications, basically Elon Musk has gotten his policy agenda enacted pretty good so far. So I would not be shocked at all at this point if there's heavy negotiation or heavy rhetoric amping up on actual withdrawal from NATO. Would it shock me? No, nothing would shock me anymore. And again, this decision to withdraw aid from the Gaza Strip has resulted in mass condemnation from Arab countries in the region. You have Saudi Arabia, and I would say the most important because, of course, Trump himself is trying to negotiate a peace settlement between the Israelis and Saudi Arabia. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to like and subscribe. It's super good for the algorithm, and it costs you absolutely nothing. We need an algorithm boost. The algorithm's been screwing with us recently, and do that. And if you want to support the channel in any way, my Patreon link is also in the description, as well as Amazon products that I use if you want to take a look at that. So again, it's pretty wild. The Saudis have condemned the Israeli decision to halt all aid into the Gaza Strip. So the entire thing is wild, guys. Okay. And if war does resume in the Gaza Strip, at this point, I don't think anything is off the table in the sense, hey, would Trump actually deploy troops to the region? Because I'm not sure that it's completely off the table. Because it seemed Trump himself, guys, his plan is to take over the Gaza Strip. He has said this on numerous occasions. I think it's pretty clear what his actual opinion is on the Gaza Strip. So that probably is going to entail U.S. deployment of troops. And again, an Egyptian official to Al Jazeera, Hamas and Cairo will not accept the proposal to return remaining hostages without ending the war. So again, this is really what it comes down to. The offer from the Israelis to Hamas is give us all the hostages, but the war is going to continue. Because I think it's pretty obvious the Israelis are set on going back into the Gaza Strip, and of course they're not going to accept a resolution that will prolong the war. So it's not good. It's not good, guys. It's just very dark times. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think. Will the war resume immediately? How significant will it be? I'm curious what you guys think. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. But what comes next is anyone's guess. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.